Dr. Brian Abelson of Kinetic Health.
And I'm Nikki Burton, registered massage therapist.
Today we're going to talk about building a better butt. First we're going to talk about why it's so important to have strong hips, strong gluteal muscles, and how it affects your overall health. Everything from functioning in terms of your feet, your ankles, your hips, your core, your pelvic floor, everything is so intimately related. A lot of the conditions that people think are normal for the normal aging process has more to do with hip weakness than the actual aging. And these are things that you never really have to experience. People talk about urinary incontinence and even sexual dysfunction. And when it comes right down to it, these are lifestyle choices you've made in terms of lack of exercise and a sedentary lifestyle. It really doesn't have a lot to do with the aging process itself. Why don't we talk about, for example, how the gluteal muscles or the gluteal strength affects your pelvic floor.
Yeah, so first I'm going to point out where the pubic symphysis and the coccyx or your tailbone are located. So myself, we have pubic symphysis in the front and you have your coccyx and your tailbone in the back. So when you do have very strong or just toned gluteal muscles when you're young and everything's going good, you're going to notice that there's more of a trampoline basically between the coccyx and the sacrum. So everything is going to be nice and taut, your muscles are going to be nice and contracted, and it's going to keep everything in, all your internal organs.
Yeah, it's basically going to support all the internal organs.
Yeah.
And, at that point, when the muscle's healthy, it can actually contract and release quite well. Yeah.
But then when you do notice that when you get older, it becomes actually a little bit more of a sag. So when the tailbone does start to go towards, you end up getting a little bit of a sagging in the middle, and that can actually lead to urinary incontinence, bowel incontinence, as well as sexual dysfunction.
Right, because one of the main things that happens as that comes in there, muscles get used to staying in whatever position they're put into. So our ability to actually open up and release, open up and release gives us good function. If something stays in a contracted position and we actually want to have normal bowel movements or urinary function, people will notice they start getting leakage because the muscles can't react quick enough to make changes. This also creates sensory changes. So in terms of men and women, a lot of the things that they relate to just the normal aging process with sexual dysfunction is not that case at all. These are sensory and motor changes based off of the fact that the pelvis has changed its orientation because the glutes have gotten weak. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to go through a whole series of exercises, or I should say Mickey's going to go through a series of exercises. And these are great ones for building strength and gluteal muscles. Now, these exercises are not for individuals who are suffering from a particular condition or have an injury in the area. After you've gotten over that acute stage and you're getting a lot stronger and you want to build up strength, these are great exercises, or just for anyone who basically leads a sedentary lifestyle.
So as Brian previously stated, these exercises are better performed when we don't have any type of hip or knee issues. Wait till those areas are resolved and then get into the exercises. So the first one I'm going to be showing you is a goblet squat. So for this, I'm going to be using a kettlebell. Now you can use any type of free weight that you'd like and start at a weight that you find to be comfortable to do enough to get 10 reps done. And you're going to be doing that for 3 sets. Now in between each set, you want to take a break, 30 seconds, even up to a minute of a break. This helps to bring more body awareness, as well as it helps with the fibers in the muscle. If you take a less of a break and you start using the muscle faster between each set, then you're actually going to be tearing down the fibers and you're going to be building up the muscle in a different way. So if you want to get the maximum out of this exercise to build good glute strength, wait at least 30 seconds to a minute between each set. So now I'm going to be showing you 10 reps, and I'm only going to be doing 1 set though. Now you're going to be doing 3 sets when you're at home. Alright, so I got my kettlebell. One thing is very important is keeping your upper back straight, shoulders back. Don't hunch forward or else you're going to be causing some low back issues. Alright, so you'll notice when you have a kettlebell or a weight, when you start it, you might actually bring the weight a little bit in front of you, but you want to try your best to bring it close to you because then it'll work the glutes a little bit more because then your weight's on your heels. So for myself, I actually like to turn my feet out because I have a little bit of tightness in my hips. Now if you don't, you can just keep your feet parallel. Alright, so we're going to be going basically glutes to the ground. Alright? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. So now I'm going to be showing you the Bulgarian split squat. The reason I like doing this is because it helps to activate the muscle on one side versus doing both sides. When you're doing a squat, sometimes you might use one side more than the other without even knowing it. So by doing this, you're going to be activating it on the one side and then the other side, so it can actually help with muscle balance. So for this, you're going to be needing something to put your leg up on. So a chair or a bench works just fine. You're going to be grabbing yourself some free weights. Sometimes you might not even need some weights because it is quite a challenging exercise. All right, so for this, bring your leg back on the chair. Make sure that you keep your chest up and try to keep your hips pointing straight. So for this, when you go down, try to activate that glute. Hold it and squeeze when you come back up. So now we're going to start for 10 reps and you're going to do 3 sets. Right now I'm just going to show you the first set. So down, squeeze, 1. Down, squeeze, 2. Down, squeeze, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to switch legs. So same thing, chest up, hips pointed forward, squeeze the glute at the bottom. Squeeze for 1, squeeze for 2, squeeze for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. And now I'm going to be showing you the glute bridge. So for this, I like to use a mat just because it helps with the spine, but even just laying on your carpet works. I don't really recommend laying on hardwood floor. All right, so what we're going to do, laying down on the mat, bringing in your legs, and I find that it actually works better if you put a lot of weight in your heels, because then you're really driving up with your glutes versus if you're pushing with your toes, you're kind of defeating the purpose. All right. So what I want you to do at the very bottom already, squeeze those glutes as tight as you can together, pushing through the heels, and there's going to be a point where you can't even go any further. If you're not squeezing, you're going to be able to go up as high as you want. But if you're squeezing those glutes, there's going to be a point where you couldn't even go past, and they want you to hold it. And back down. Nice and slow, keeping everything very rhythmic almost. So we're going to be doing 10 reps for 3 sets again. I'll show you the first set. So squeeze those glutes. We're going up for 1. Push through the heels. Squeeze the glutes. 2. Squeeze the glutes. 3. 4. 5. 6. You're even going to notice you might get a little bit of an abdominal exercise in there too. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. So now I'm going to be showing you a speed skater into a curtsy lunge. Now a lot of the times you'll see a speed skater where they just kind of do a hop back and forth, one dynamic movement. But this one we're actually going to be adding in another type of movement so we can get really deep into the meat of the glute muscles. Trying to build a little bit more shape, even a little bit on the outside so you get a nice, more of a rounder shape actually. So for this we're going to be doing a dynamic movement, exploding back and forth down into a curtsy. So by doing this we're actually working on our fast twitch muscle fibers versus if you were doing a normal lunge or a squat, which works on our slow twitch muscle fibers. All right, so for this we're actually going to be doing 20 reps for 3 sets. So we're going to get started on the first one. So what we do, explode to the side and do a curtsy. That's 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you're keeping your hips forward. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now I'm going to be showing you 2 different exercises that you can use in conjunction with each other. So the first one is actually going to be a fire hydrant, and the second one's going to be a donkey kick. So make sure that when you're doing these, you keep them in control. Don't just do the movement just to do the movement. You really want to feel it and isolate that movement. That's how you get a really good contraction on the muscle, and that's how you'll build it better. All right, so what we're going to do is find a nice soft surface, even carpet or a mat works perfect. Keeping your head in neutral spine, all 4s. You're going to bring your leg is going to come out to the side, and you're going to keep that leg bent. And we're going to be doing 10 reps for 3 sets. All right, so we're going to go leg out to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I want you to go right into the donkey kick, because then you really will activate that glute. So for donkey kick, you're in the exact same position. Flex that heel, and you're going to push your heel up to the roof. So push up for 1 as high as you can. Contract that muscle and bring it back down. Not all the way down to the floor though. Okay, we're going to try to keep it here. Push up for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we'll repeat everything on the other side. All right, we're getting into the fire hydrants. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Into the donkey kicks, heel to the roof. 1, 2, 3, squeeze that glute. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job.